Welcome to Modern Musings, conversations with the maiden, mother, and crone, looking at ourselves and the world through the lens of the 21st century. Hello, and welcome back to our podcast. I am Amber Jones, and I'm here with Kristen Hessler and Cindy Murray.
Yay!
Hello.
Well, so this week we have another Writer's Corner episode. And I don't know, have I done one this year?
I don't think so.
I think this is our first Writer's Corner of the year, probably our only Writer's Corner of the year. I'm not really sure.
I can't remember.
I think like maybe I do one a year or two a year, something like that. But it's been a while since we've talked about writing. So I just wanted to talk about a little known little blurb in the fiction universe called flash fiction. So when I say flash fiction, ladies, what does that make you think?
Like fast fashion.
Yeah, something that came out really fast and went away.
Yeah, I mean, flash fiction basically is defined as a very short story. There is no set word count that separates flash fiction from more traditional short stories. I mean, typically short stories are what, like 2-3 pages?
Mm-hmm.
So a flash fiction would be shorter than that. What do y'all think? What do y'all think like would be a good word count for flash fiction?
You're asking the wrong
140 characters.
Oh wow, characters,
Oh,
not just words,
like a
but
Twitter.
characters.
Like a Twitter. That is.
So that's interesting because
haiku.
I do have a book called Twitterature.
Oh.
That it takes famous novels, and we can link that on Heard It in the podcast, Twitterature. I'll send you the link for it. It takes famous novels and turns them into, 140 characters or less.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So, like, it takes all these famous novels and breaks them down to a few lines. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, that could definitely be, I would say, probably 700 words or less. Like I said, there's no specific word count, but 700 words or less, probably like a 3/4 of a page or less. I'm not really sure how many. I think a page might be like 1,000 words. I don't know. Depends on if you double space or not.
Okay.
But so yeah, about 5 to 7, typically 100-word.
Okay.
However, one of the most famous flash fictions, and I guess before I get into that, I can do like a little short history of flash fiction. Okay, so the origins would be like the mid to late 1800s.
Okay.
With it was kind of popularized by writers like Walt Whitman and Ambrose Bierce.
Okay.
Probably one of the earliest flash fiction is attributed to Ernest Hemingway.
Oh.
But it's not really, like, they're not really sure, like, if it's actually his work or not.
Oh, okay.
But the story was For Sale, Baby Shoes, Never Worn.
Oh.
That's a sad story.
That is a very sad story. But that was one of the earliest works of flash fiction.
Wow.
And one of the shortest pieces of flash fiction out there. Yeah, I know, that is really sad.
That's like the opposite of Stephen King.
Right?
I don't think Stephen King could write flash fiction.
So another one, right? No, he couldn't. Another one even smaller is 5 words. Joyce Carol Oates. And it was called Widow's First Year. Also another sad one. And I'm maybe I shouldn't read this one, Cindy. I know
go ahead. It's
I didn't.
I live it every day, so yeah.
It was the story is I kept myself alive.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's pretty true.
And that is like one of the shortest recorded flash fiction by Joyce Carol Oates. 5 words.
That's only 4 words. I kept myself alive.
Oh.
That's true. I can't
But the
count.
Oh, okay.
Myself. Okay, yeah, I was
Myself.
counting that as 2 words,
Yeah.
but
So even shorter.
yeah, 4 words.
Actually, it could have been written
By
as
and self.
myself.
Yeah.
I kept myself alive, not myself. It could be written as 5 words. Yes. Depending on usage in that era. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on that one.
So so as you can see, it can be pretty short.
Yeah.
Oh. So,
So go ask your
I
question.
was thinking, because earlier you were like saying something about flash fiction has like no rules, but there is rules for writing, right? It has to have like certain things.
Yeah.
Like a character and a
I guess
plot
there's
and
no
stuff.
like word rules, but yeah, ladies, what does a story need?
Well, it has to have a subject.
Yeah, subject, character, plot.
Yes.
So yeah, flash fiction should have a complete plot. That's one of the characteristics of it.
And usually I would think some kind of passage of time of
Yeah.
some sort.
So
Whether it's implied or whatever.
That would be setting.
yeah,
would be
that's
part
true.
of your
setting,
setting,
yes.
Or theme.
Well, like
even.
the title of the widow's thing. The title actually is the setting.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it has to be short. The 3 characteristics basically are it has to be short, it has to have a complete plot,
Okay.
and it has to have some sort of unexpectedness.
Mm.
Now, I don't like that 4-word one. It's not really, I mean, I guess it could be considered unexpected depending on like the time period that
Yeah.
it's read in. But it
Well,
usually
it's kind
incorporates
of
a surprise.
shocking that it's so forthcoming about
Yeah.
the situation. So,
Yeah, because it's brutally honest.
it is brutally honest. Yes.
Well, and the same about the
shoes.
baby shoes. Yeah,
Yes.
that one's
Yeah.
very shocking. Like you don't you see baby shoes and then you see never worn and you're like, "Oh,
yeah.
that's what happened to that baby."
Yeah, both of those are you fill in the blanks
hmm
with all of the like those lines are like pretty horrific,
Right.
but the parts that weren't said are also just as
right. It's,
horrific.
it's what's unsaid
Unsaid, yeah.
that is the
is
power
the
there.
story.
Yeah.
That's what's really
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
Okay, I have like a longer one if y'all want me to read.
Yes.
It's about 300 words,
Okay, sure.
and it's by another famous author, Kafka.
okay.
So it's called Give It Up. It was very early in the morning, the streets clean and deserted. I was walking to the station. As I compared the tower clock with my watch, I realized that it was already much later than I thought. I had to hurry. The shock of this discovery made me unsure of the way. I did not yet know my way very well in this town. Luckily, a policeman was nearby. I ran up to him and breathlessly asked him the way. He smiled and said, "From me, You want to know the way. Yes, I said, since I cannot find it myself. Give it up, he said, and turned away with a sudden jerk, like people who want to be alone with their laughter.
That's a horrible ending.
It's Kafka. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Like, just a simple question. Already stressed out.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of Kafka. I'm really not.
No,
Eh.
me neither. But
Not my thing.
But yeah,
No,
that
one
one.
just leaves you pissed.
Yes.
I'm thinking most of these do because, well, I mean, the shock factor, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It's yeah.
You're like,
So
dang,
yeah, that was a
didn't
shock. Like you
end
would
the
think
way I
the
thought it
police would help him,
Yeah.
but instead
Yeah.
he was just like, "Give it up, bye." He turns away and starts
feel
laughing
like-
at him.
But maybe the point of that is where was he trying to go? Because he doesn't specify where he's trying to go.
Yeah,
And so maybe there's a point in there that we're missing. You know, like maybe
way.
he's trying to go to, I don't know.
The
We're not. He's
criminal
not
meetup.
Huh?
Yeah, the criminals meetup.
right, or he double hockey sticks, or
Right.
Sorry, we try to keep this clean. That's why I didn't say the word. But yeah, I mean, I'm just like, yeah.
yeah.
Maybe there's a point there that to that story that's interesting. That it's thought provoking though. Definitely thought provoking.
And
Because why wouldn't a police officer give the directions?
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely like a shock factor on that one.
Back to kind of like the rules of a story, right?
Mhm.
So, in order for it to be good, right? Like all of those, like the key factor was that there was a plot twist.
Yes.
So, and obviously there's conflict. That's what you read in between the lines.
Right.
And so, what is, for maybe an aspiring writer, a way to come up with the plot? Like, you see, like, whenever you're writing, it's very linear when you're a newbie at writing. I don't know, maybe that's me. Like, I think of, like, oh, once upon a time, there was a lady, and then I'm like, okay, now what's going to happen next? Do you think some people come up with the plot twist first, and then they write it backwards, or?
Oh,
Um,
that's a good point.
yeah, you know what? There are different ways that you could do that. Especially like when they teach us like how to teach. They always say teach with backwards design in mind.
Okay.
So when you are, especially if you're going to write like a really short story like this, you kind of need to know what's going to happen, right? So you can
Mhm.
make it short.
Right.
So if you want to have just like, so you kind of need to know like what your twist is, what the surprise is going to be before you can write this. So maybe like one of my suggestions would be write with the end in mind, which is very funny, but I don't really write flash fiction, which is very funny because that's not how I write at all.
Oh.
Well, not typically, but I do, like, if I'm going to write something short, like a short story, then
Uh-huh.
yeah, I would write with the end in mind because you have to keep it, like, a certain length. Like, you kind of need to know, like, what is going to happen. So I guess I've done it either way, where I've just sat down and I've started writing, and then the story came to me as I wrote.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I've also done it in ways where I've planned out everything before I started writing, like characters and their relations to each other, which Kristen and I are currently reading the ACOTAR series. And so I was sitting there thinking, like, if I were to write a fantasy series, how would I go about that? Would I just sit down and start writing, or would I map out the world that I'm going to build?
A lot of people
Right.
And
focus on that
map
world
out-
building.
And map
part of
out all of the characters and
Mhm.
like how the characters are related to each other. And would I do this as I'm writing and then keep notes, or would I map it out to begin with and kind of have an idea of where I want these characters to go
Right.
and what I want them to do?
Well, I mean, for fantasy writers, that very often is the way they write it. They have this whole world built in their mind, and probably most of the characters and their interactions, if not all of them. For the flash fiction, I would think you would almost have to do that.
I think I think
first.
you would have to do the backwards design. Like you would have to know what your because the whole point of it is that plot
That
twist.
plot.
So you would need to know what your plot twist is, and then you need to like keep it short. So like so definitely like some of my suggestions would be backwards design. Keep it short, like 1 or 2 characters. Make a good use of your title. Make the title part
Part of the story.
of
'cause
the
that's
story.
what- How the
Just-
widow one
the
works.
widow
The-
one, yes.
Yes.
Make it part of the story. So like if you don't have time for you know, setting, make that your title. That's
Mhm.
what she did.
Yeah.
And then just stick to one moment in time. You're not doing like a whole world building. You're just doing one moment, like Kafka's he was looking for something.
Hmm.
You're not gonna do like a whole bunch of time. Your story has to cover, like a minute of time.
Right.
And that's pretty much like how his story was. It covered like, and then within that minute, make imagery count.
Mhm.
The images that people see, because when he's running and he's looking, you can kind of see a guy going down the street, lost, looking for something.
Right.
Yeah, and those are definitely like some pointers I have for that. You would definitely kind of have to already know what's going to happen.
Right.
How do you
So-
come up with a plot twist?
That's a good question.
Ooh. Gosh.
I know I'm just asking, how do you make water? But
Well, I mean,
know-
like you have to think about like what are plot twists. Like it's going to be like something that that you know what's going to happen. Well,
It's like,
the
know,
reader, but the reader doesn't know.
something isn't what it seems.
Yeah, something
usually.
unexpected. Yeah.
So I just thought of a
no,
quick
my
flash
mind
fiction.
just can't think of
I
that.
just
like,
thought of a flash fiction. It used to be passed around as a joke. And I don't know the exact way that it was written, but a man and his son get in a car accident and they're rushed to the hospital. And in the emergency room, the doctor comes in and said, "I can't operate on this patient. He's my husband." Well, the plot twist of that one, this is like from the 70s, was that the doctor was not a man. Right?
Yeah, because
So-
women used to not
Yeah.
be doctors.
Right.
I never got that joke as a kid because there was totally lots of
Yeah,
women
it's
doctors.
totally irrelevant now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But and also irrelevant now because it
The
could be a
husband,
male
the son.
doctor married to
Oh,
another
wow,
male.
Even that too.
so
yeah.
so that joke or whatever, that story, but that was one that kind of went around. But the plot twist there was that there was something unexpected. Someone was not who they were supposed to be, or
Mm-hmm.
something was not what it appeared to be. And in that case, he was, the doctor was not a he, the doctor was a she.
Oh.
And that's why I say in that Kafka thing, I have to wonder what he was looking for, trying to get to, that the police, that's where the plot twist is that the police would have helped him if
He was asking for something that the police could help him with.
Yeah.
help him find. So it was, it was obviously he was looking for something that the police was like, what is wrong with you? Why are you asking me for this? So
it
would
has to be something ridiculous.
like
like
the
a-
He said,
the
"Give it
getaway
up."
car.
When he said give it up, like
Quit looking for
quit
it, man.
asking for that. Like you've
Right.
asked me this
The
a
road, the
1,000
highway to
times.
heaven, or
Yeah.
the highway to
there are a million different ways that you can look at this. Like maybe he was crazy,
Yeah.
or
Maybe the police officer wasn't a police officer.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe it was like a guy dressed up as a police officer.
Yeah.
So there, there's where your twist is. So something is not what it seems. I think that's what it is. Something or someone.
It's like sounds like just about most jokes.
Well, true.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Especially like the big jokes with an actual story that go
Right,
with them.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Like the plot twist.
Yeah, like the ones where it's like a horse walks into the bar and
Or our friend Dave's infamous spittoon joke. Which I will not
Ah.
repeat on this podcast. Have you heard that one?
No.
You don't want to. If you DM me, I will tell you the joke, but that's the only way I'll tell it because it's really gross. But yeah, I mean, they are just any kind of storytelling joke. That's pretty much a flash fiction kind of thing, I would think. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, like a joke is a story, so
It
I don't
is,
see.
yeah. Especially if it's well told. Yeah. I mean, I'm not talking about the simple ones like knock knock or whatever, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, the same with riddles. Riddles are stories.
Yeah,
I mean, of course,
in a way.
there's not really like a plot twist.
But there is something
the
that's not
answer
what it
is
seems.
kind of-
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
the answer is kind of a plot twist for sure.
Yeah. Interesting thoughts.
Now I'm going to be constantly thinking of a plot
You're
twist.
going to try to be trying to
trying
think of
to
one.
think of plot twists because my brain doesn't think that
Well,
way.
that's your homework, Kristen, is trying to think of a plot twist.
Well, I wrote a flash fiction here,
okay, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
but it's because I was being a butthead.
You're being a.
I was, because I was like, okay, you need a character, setting, conflict, plot, and theme. So I said, there was a character that lived in a place, and the theme was evident when a conflict arose, which made a great plot that was overcome.
hey,
And the plot twist is that you don't know any of the details.
That's terrible.
No, that is how my mind thinks. Like, and then I was like, I could just
That's
cross
because-
out character.
That's because you're quite facetious.
And then I could say there was a child
Kristen, maybe I should pull out my oracle cards.
that lived
Your
in
oracle cards?
Yeah, my
a tree house.
Kristen wanted me to talk about this on this episode.
yeah,
I
yeah.
have a. Oh, go on.
The weather was hot. That's the theme. It's hot outside. Okay.
Okay.
When the tree house creaked. See, I'm just filling in
She's
the blank. It's
writing a
Mad
flash
Libs.
fiction while
It's Mad Libs.
Oh, it is.
I mean, that is kind of that's a good way to look
Which
at it.
made the kid scared. That was the plot. Oh, now I don't know what. So. Yeah, see, I can't do the twist. I can't do the twist because I'm like
the twist is that the treehouse is actually.
a cactus was really what I was trying to think, but I didn't know how
Oh.
to write that. So.
Oh, I was thinking the treehouse was like the little loft bed in their
Oh,
bedroom.
no, I was like, okay, there's a child that lives in a tree house, and it was really
Really
hot
hot.
outside, and the tree house creaked, and he got scared, so he climbed down, and it was a cactus tree. That was my thought.
It was a cactus tree.
Not
Okay.
really,
No,
it's not a
that's-
tree, it's a cactus. Yeah, and then I was like, nope,
No.
not a plot. Nope. Yeah, I can't do it.
Okay, so Kristen wanted me to mention these cards. I bought them a while back off Amazon, and I can link that. It's called the Rider's Oracle Deck.
Oh yeah, we were talking. Yeah.
So we're talking about like the plot of a story, right? Exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and the end, the denouement or the resolution. So I'm gonna shuffle these cards right here,
Okay.
and I'm gonna do
Excuse
story,
me while I read my tarot.
right. This is gonna
Excuse
be
me
like
while
a
I read and write my story. Yeah.
right. This is gonna be like I'm gonna write a story, or not really write a story, but I'm gonna have like
gonna
the
tell
whole
the story.
plot of a story, little flash plot from these cards.
Okay. Okay.
I can't shuffle. Can you hear me shuffling?
You should do
Excuse
this kind
me.
of shuffle.
I don't like that kind of shuffle.
I don't.
I
You
love
know what?
to
I always
bridge.
break my cards in with that regular card shuffle, and then once they're really broken in really well, then I
Where
just
they
start
don't
doing.
stick together
Yes.
anymore.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, excuse me while I write my story. So first we need an exposition. That's a backstory, right? So the first card that I'm going to pull is called The Lighthouse.
I just read a story about a lighthouse.
So the backstory, and this could work as like a setting card as well, but the backstory is that there is a lighthouse, and loneliness, pretty much.
Okay.
So then what happens at the lighthouse, I just pulled the card called The Stroke of Midnight. So something is going to happen at the lighthouse at the stroke of midnight.
Ooh.
And the picture on the card is of a girl running. So maybe a girl is running either to or from the lighthouse at the stroke of midnight. Now, the climax, I pulled a card called The Crack in the Wall.
Ooh.
So the climax would be maybe the lighthouse is destroyed. So they're running from the lighthouse, and the lighthouse is destroyed. You could interpret these cards any way and to make a story.
Mm-hmm.
So then the falling action, what happens after the crack in the wall, is I got a card called the Cold Tea. So and the question on the card is, what would happen if your character left something behind? So something was
She
left
ran away.
behind
Something got left behind.
at the lighthouse. And then the resolution is a card called the Fountain. So she ran away from the lighthouse. The lighthouse was destroyed. She left something behind. And there are many different pictures on this fountain card. One is of a man proposing to a woman. Another is somebody is throwing something away in the fountain, or throwing a coin in the fountain. Another is somebody is sitting, resting their feet in the fountain. So you could take like if a woman is running away from the lighthouse after it is destroyed, leaving something behind, maybe in the end she found her one true love.
Okay.
And I will take these cards and I will write a flash fiction out of these cards and post it on my blog.
Ah, fun.
And of course, take pictures of the cards and show you what my new deck looks like.
Fun, fun, fun. New decks are always fun.
Maybe I should do a reading for y'all so y'all can write your own little fiction. What do
No.
y'all think? No?
Now,
I'll take one.
Kristen will take
that
challenge.
challenge. I
Yeah,
am
but
not
you gotta
going to
tell
do
me
that.
what the card, because I was trying to write down what you were writing, but I missed them. So just
Okay. Yeah, I will. Or
you
you want
take
me
a
to do it right
picture of
now,
them.
or you want me to do
Yeah.
it? Okay. All right. Let me shuffle my cards.
Do you remember when we first started recording and we tried to record the sound of shuffling cards?
Yeah, I remember.
Trying to
Okay.
get the right sound. Yes.
Okay, Kristen. Your exposition is going to be.
What's exposition again? Layman's
Exposition
terms?
is like the backstory.
The setup.
backstory thing.
setup. And that could include the setting and the characters as well.
Got it.
So, your exposition is called Mending and Darning.
Eleanor Rigby. Okay.
So, if you're using this card as an exposition or a setting, your question is, what do people do with broken or worn down things?
Ooh. Okay.
Ooh, she's already got an idea.
And then a possible theme would be value despite imperfection.
Okay.
All right. So then your rising action, and I like this card better than my rising action because my card was just a picture. This one is called the Shadowed Path.
Okay.
So daunting tasks, hidden things. And then your plot question would be, is this a moment where the protagonist needs to face a challenge? What
Okay.
are they venturing into? So then your climax, oh, you're getting all these good cards. Your climax is unexpected parcels. So, what happens that is unexpected?
There's your plot twist.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How would your character handle this situation? And then your falling action would be you got a picture card, the old mill.
Oh, like a windmill. Okay.
And there's a guy.
Isn't that where they grind up wheat to make flour?
A grist mill. There's all kinds of mills.
Well, and then the picture is like a old windmill in the back, and there's a guy
With a
walking
cart.
up to it
Uh-huh.
with a cart.
Okay.
And then your resolution, your story ending. That's interesting. The kitchen garden.
Hey, we were just talking about kitchens a few weeks back.
So your story is ending in the kitchen garden. And then there's a guy standing there. He's tired, sleepy, sweaty, but has a basket full of food. And that is your basic plot diagram layout.
Cool.
from the Writer's Oracle. And I'll stack these cards for you if you want to look at them closer. This is the first one, and then the last one's the last one.
Oh, there's a lot more words on there. Cool. Okay.
Yeah. I was just giving you like a small snippet of it.
Fun.
Yeah, very fun. I can't wait to see what y'all two write. I'm not going to. Sorry.
Well, now that we have our Flash Fiction Challenge, I'm going to challenge our listeners.
Oh, yeah.
See if you can write your own short story. And we want to hear from you. Please send us an email with your short story.
Or post it on our MMC chat.
Yes, post it on the chat. Send us an email. We wanna hear what you guys have, or if you have any Flash Fiction stories that you want to share with us.
Mm-hmm. And props if you get it under 140 characters.
Right. A Twitterature, or I guess it's called X now, an X version of. And I might have to dust out my old Twitterature book. Well, guys, what are we talking about next week?
Next week, we're talking about outdoor games. As we're coming up, I guess, like kind of conclusion to summer. It's your last little chance to do some fun stuff outside. So with that, wrap up summer with outdoor games.
Good deal. Good deal. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to hear about outdoor games, and I can't wait to hear from our listeners. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.